Hello there, my name is Finn, and I'm one of the team members working on the upcoming game Blagmoz. Today's topic is stage hazards, because of course, if you're making a PvP precision platformer, the stages need something for you to be precise around. So not only are your fellow wizards your opponents, you're also doing battle with the stages themselves. I also want to talk about some of the stage elements we've added for players to use, and they fit the theme of stage hazard because of course, if you use a tool incorrectly enough, it can become a hazard. To start, Blagmoz levels need to be three things. 1. Open enough and easy enough to navigate that you can focus on fighting. 2. Hazardous enough so that your positioning and movement are a priority. And 3. Once the last player remains and the ooze starts rising, the levels need to be exciting and challenging to navigate while under pressure. Now these three principles can be hard to implement because they seem to contradict each other at times, but in order to ease players into this, we've split Blagmoz levels into separate areas, each with different difficulties and identities. We can adjust the difficulties by increasing and decreasing the weights of how important each principle is for that area. So in the first area, the tower, we probably want to let newer players focus on fighting, but we aren't going to throw away the other two principles either because the player needs to learn them. And in the second area, the forest, that's where we can start to amp up 2 and 3. And in order to fulfill 2 and 3, we could use difficult jumps, spreading out important pickups, and of course, stage hazards. Now in the tower, we got the classics. Bottomless pits? Don't go in there. Spikes? Don't go in there. Well, but these spikes, yeah, you can go in there for a little bit, but yeah, don't go in there. We've also got these cool electrical beams which can be toggled. Not only do the buttons that control them act as a point of interest for the players, but they can also be used offensively. Now, none of these hazards are crazy innovations in the gaming industry, but we weren't looking for them to be. Our game has a lot to learn, and if there was no familiarity, players would just be completely overwhelmed. Moving on to the forest, we have moving platforms, another classic, but these can add a lot of excitement and danger. Like if you mistime your escape route, they can lower you directly into the ooze Terminator style. Bouncy mushrooms, which increase the player's vertical movement, but toss a tomahawk on there and you can prevent other players from using it so easily. And waterfalls, where the wizards can use their magical abilities to swim straight up them, either allowing them to gain a lot of height, or sending them straight to their doom. A lot of the mechanics in Blagmoz are centered around giving the players new ways to move, and the mushrooms and waterfalls are a good example of that. Some of the tower mechanics repeat themselves in the forest, but using them more often or in more creative ways or in conjunction with one another allows us to make those same obstacles a greater threat. Thus, depending on the area, we can challenge the player's movement more and also add excitement to the winner's race against the ooze, while of course keeping the levels interesting and intuitive to navigate during the fight. So that's all for today. Of course there's another area in Blagmoz, and we intend to add even more after the game's release, but for now you'll just have to wait and see. Blagmoz is available on Steam to wishlist, so if you like what you saw, please check out our Steam page and subscribe to the Frog Thulu channel. Thanks guys, we'll see you in the next one.